request 30 more seconds because I rise before you adorning
The
these
gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Not for personal tension, but to encourage you to take
Gentleman,
this proceeding
gentlelady will suspend.
for every American
I'm going to give you more time.
Right now, to the families.
The gentlelady will suspend. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Some tense moments before the House approved a stimulus bill to help Americans. That bill did eventually pass and get to the president's desk this afternoon, as you just saw. Could mean cash in your pocket as early, potentially as next week. But the road to passage hit some other unexpected speed bumps. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi signed the more than $2 trillion bill to provide economic relief from the fallout of the coronavirus outbreak before sending it to the White House for the president's signature. The package gives up to $1,200 directly to most working Americans, expands unemployment insurance, provides hundreds of billions to businesses, both big and small, and delivers immediate financial relief to hospitals.
I object on the basis that a quorum is not present.
Kentucky Republican Thomas Massie pressed for a recorded vote on the measure.
I came here this week to make sure our republic doesn't die in an empty chamber by unanimous consent.
But party leaders got the bill over the finish line with a voice vote.
The motion is adopted.
President Trump bashed Congressman Massey's objection on Twitter. He also used Twitter to call on General Motors and Ford to produce more ventilators. Ford says it is pulling out all the stops, and GM says it's working around the clock to meet the urgent need. At the same time, the president and some of his health experts are pushing back on estimates from some state and local leaders requesting more ventilators.
The models in many cases are way off. New York City, we actually have people on the ground who have told us that there are 1,000 ventilators sitting in a warehouse right now that haven't been used.
The president says he's still assessing ways to get parts of the country back to work, but his top health officials say the data will determine those decisions. And right now we're seeing Joe Biden actually going live on Twitter. Just did something pretty interesting there. He congratulated the president. Yeah, Biden commended President Trump for using the Defense Production Act to make ventilators. He says there should be no concern of making too many at this point. Now, we've been reaching out to local lawmakers' reactions to this bill passage. Here is Democrat Emmanuel Cleaver's take.
This is a moment when the democracy is tested, whether or not we put a party over principle and whether or not we believe that ideology should reign supreme regardless of what's at stake. And the members of Congress just said, we think we ought to vote to satisfy the demands of our democracy.
He also had an interesting take on a loophole in the bill. Who won't get a stimulus check and what it means for you? We'll have that coming up tonight on our news at 5. Now, on the other side of the aisle, local Republican Vicky Hartzler voted yes, saying, quoting here, "We are fighting a two-front war, a public health battle and an economic battle. The reinforcements sent to the front lines must be as bold and extraordinary as the crisis itself."